you did not actually see the shooting?
I said in my 911 call, I think I saw is that, no, Jasmine, he did shoot that boy. And I said, yes, he did. Correct.
And then you said, I think I saw, is it?
If you didn't see the shooting, say you didn't, don't lie about it.
I saw, and then my aunt was behind me, as you can hear in the 911 call. She said, no, Jasmine, he did shoot that boy. And I said, yes, he did.
Remember that call to 911?
Correct, yes.
And you talked to the 911 operator?
Yes.
You remember a conversation with the 911 operator?
Yes.
And that was as close to the time as possible. Is that correct? Do you mind if I call you Jasmine?
That's fine.
Okay. And that was close to the time as possible, correct, Jasmine?
Correct.
Something, and I'm not trying to trap you, I want to make sure I understand. And I think that is exactly what I heard on the 911. But when you were talking to the 911 operator, you initially said, I didn't see anything, correct?
No, I said, I think I saw.
You think you saw. You were not positive when you talked to them.
Correct, because my emotions gone.
Fresh to the incident as possible, close to possible, emotional situations.
Correct.
And then you utter what you remember to the 911 operator. Fair?
Correct.
And then you said, I think I saw. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
And then somebody in the car told you you actually did see. Is that what your testimony just was?
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of that 911 call, and Debbie, you had opted to record your 911 call.
Correct.
Okay. And so I'm not tricky or anything, so I'm going to ask you a question. And would you agree with me, a lot of that 911 call with things like you just said, I think I saw this may have happened, it was stuff like that. I think they call it equivocation. Do you agree with that?
Agree.
Okay. And then when the dispatch, the officer dispatch, whatever they call those 911 officers, they ask you a question. Did you see him shoot the boy, or did you just hear the gun go off? And your response was, we just heard the gun go off, and then we happened to see the owner pointing the gun at the boy while he was on the ground. You remember that?
Correct.
Okay. And so what you're telling me, and I think you described maybe you thought they might have been fireworks because you weren't sure what they were at the time. Does that sound about right?
Correct.
And then later, I think you gave two different statements. I won't say different, because it sounds like you gave two additional statements. Is that it?
That's sorry. Yes.
That's a yes? You gave two additional statements.
Yes.
And each statement after that first 911 call, would you agree, got a little more detailed?
Yes.
Okay. And this was after you had met with law enforcement?
The next day.
Yes.
That's when I met with law enforcement.
Okay. And I want to make sure I understand, you also testified, you also gave law enforcement, or one of these interviews that you gave, you specifically saw Mr. Chow toss the gun away?
I'm not sure if it was a gun. I remember when my aunt and we was driving slowly away.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chow still had his gun pointed at him while Cyrus was on the ground. He still had his gun in his left hand. He squat down. He grabbed something off the ground, tossed it, and then put his right hand back on the gun, still pointed at Cyrus as he was on the ground.
Okay, so to repeat my question, you saw him toss something away, but you're not sure what it was.
Not sure what it was.
You don't remember if you told 911 or one of the other subsequent interviews that it may have been a firearm?
No.
Okay. And I'm not saying you did, I'm just asking the question. You understand, I'm not trying to trick you or anything like that, Jasmine. And Jasmine, do you remember doing or giving a diagram to law enforcement about where you saw the bodies?
Correct.
And they went through and you gave an identification where you saw everybody on the scene?
Yes, that's correct.
And you may or may not know, and don't answer the question if you do not know. Are you aware that the diagram and the identifications of where you put the bodies would have been after the shooting occurred?
Yes.
Okay. Which would have been consistent with you seeing the end of the shooting and maybe not the beginning or during?
No.
Okay. And possibly going in conjunction with your 911 call, which you originally told the 911 operator that you did not see the actual shooting, and maybe you just saw the aftermath of what happened.
So I want to make sure I answer this correctly.
Yeah, wait. That was, remember those long questions I told you about?
Yeah, I want to make sure I answer this
Take
correctly.
your time, please.
So, as I stated, when I turned my head to the right,
Yes, ma'am.
we heard a pop. Your mom said, what is that? We saw Cyrus go down. That's when I seen Mr. Rich had his gun pointed. And that's when my aunt said, he just shot that boy. We need to call 911. And we both called 911. That's when my aunt took her time to drive out slow to make sure that we saw everything. And we, as I stated, he still had his gun pointed in the back of Cyrus.
I think you answered my question absolutely perfectly. Thank you so much. And are you going back today?
Yes.
Right after this?
Mm-hmm.
I pray for your drive safe.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I appreciate you.
Thank you.